What's going on, cats and dogs? Against the Boredom here. So a couple of things. One, I'm doing a little bit of a different thing with my microphone. I got a little bit different placement. I detached it from my desk and attached it to a little side table. I'm doing some ghetto shit here, folks. And the reason I'm doing that is because every time I hit the keyboard hard or something like that, of course it being attached to the desk and me not having a spring mount, ladies and gentlemen, that was the term I was having problems coming up with the other day. I apologize. I start work early, guys, and then my brain refuses to function before noon. So anyway, I don't have a spring mount for my mic. It's a different type of mic. I'm going to see if I can remedy that. I may have to come up with a home solution. I'm not sure. But as of right now, I've got my mic boom and my mic attached to a basically like a dinner tray table kind of thing. That's standing up beside my desk, and I'm going to see if that works. That way I can kind of do the little poundy pound that I usually do on my desk, because I fidget a lot, and I don't do fidget spinners because I'm a fucking adult, alright? Sorry if you guys do, it's not my thing. Press on with pride, guys. What was it, it's the 21st century, whatever you can do to have a good time, so long as it doesn't cause a murder, that kind of thing, yeah. So, alright, so that's one thing. I'm changing that up. Hopefully this will improve the audio quality just a little bit. And we'll see what's going on with that after I get done editing. So what you're watching is something. I'm not actually watching it now. I'm just going to record this and do it. And basically what you're watching is Force of Nature. Now, I had recorded this about a week or so back, but I had a house full of damn people. And there was no way that this was going to get published with a house full of damn people, with all the shit that was going on. Just too much noise going on in the background, and I don't have a dedicated room for this, okay? Where my computer table and everything is basically in our dining room, which is attached to our living room, okay? Just through a big-ass doorway, and I don't have any doors to separate everything. That's something I might do at some point, though. Anyway, I don't know. So, what I'm doing now is I'm letting you see what I did, and there's like an hour and 20 or so minutes of this stuff, and I'll go into here. Hour and 16 minutes. And 27 seconds of this stuff. And like I said, I'm not watching it right now. So there could be something cool happening, and I'm not commenting on it because I didn't start it. So I'm just going to basically match these two up and let it go, and you guys can see what's going on. If you got any questions, leave them in the comment fields, and I'll get back to you on that. I've only had 2 people comment. Well, I may have had more comment. But I do return the comments, the few that I get. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. You're watching Force of Nature. This is the stuff that I recorded. I don't have any commentary over it, so I'll sit here and have a chat with you. Now, I did do some Eye of the Beholder, over an hour's worth of that stuff. This morning, I did it. It's there. Now, I did it in one continuous video and audio, so I've got to break those apart the best way that I can and separate those into their things. And do that. And I'll figure out how to do that. It shouldn't be that bad. It should just maybe take me an afternoon or something, a couple hours to do that. And then I'll have some Eye of the Beholder videos. Man, probably 3 or 4 at least is what I've got. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be cool. I know there had been a decent amount of views, considering it's a new channel, on the Eye of the Beholder stuff. So I want to give people what they want to watch. So there's that. All right, so Eye of the Beholder, that's going good. Subsistence, that's going to be something I play a lot, guys. I'm actually probably going to record another Subsistence episode this morning, just because I love the game so damn much, and I'm going to keep going with it. I just love it. Force of Nature, I think I got enough out there for right now, and I really don't want to play it right now. I may play it a little bit later. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Whatever I want to do, man. That's the beauty of having your own channel. You do whatever the hell you want to do. So there's that. Now, one of the big things I wanted to talk about while you're watching this beautiful game called Force of Nature, because I'm not watching it, is the term RPG. Now, RPG means role-playing game, and I know I see a lot of video games that claim it's an MMORPG, it's an RPG. Look, guys, these are not RPGs, okay? Just pure and simple. They're not RPGs. I don't like the fact that the video game industry said RPGs. All right? Skyrim, in my opinion, probably comes the closest to an RPG. Now, I have not played any of the Dragon Age stuff or any of the, Gears of War. I know you can make choices in these games, right, that dictate where the game goes. But a game is limited by its programming. You cannot just do anything you want to in the game. You just can't. Maybe Grand Theft Auto is closer to that, but you're still limited by the programming. A true role-playing game you play a role. You've got a role to play. Now, in these other games, you do have a role to fill, right? A set role to fill. But it's not necessarily role-playing. You're not really playing that role. You're not really acting in that role, okay? You're just performing actions in that role that are still limited by the programming. So I do not like the term RPG as it pertains to video games, especially the MMO genre, because then you're really getting outside of the realms of role-playing. You're not really role-playing. Now, if I know some of these you can get the MMOs, you can like interact with other people, and that in that sense, probably you can role-play more than you could if you were just going on and playing the game. So I guess I can kind of see that. But the games that you just get on and you play console-wise, even PC-wise, and you're just playing these games and going through and they call themselves RPGs, no, folks. You're really not. Especially stuff like Fallout 4, Bethesda really neutered the absolute shit out of that game as far as the narrative and how you actually role-play. Now, the crafting system looks really cool. And again, I have actually not played it, but I've watched enough of other people play this from, aside from just the grinding, that it just doesn't look like something I'm interested in. Maybe when it goes like super cheap on sale, I might check it out. But I've watched it and I'm like, oh, they kind of butchered it a little bit, in my opinion. It does look like a good game. I'm not gonna trash it. This is not an expert talking here, guys. This is my opinion. You guys have your thing and I have my thing, and that just doesn't look like my thing right now. So that is what it is. Again, RPG, I wouldn't call it an RPG, and a lot of those games that are like that are not true RPGs. You're not really playing a role. The only way you could do that is, like I said, with the MMOs. If you're online and you're chatting with friends and you're actually playing that role, like you would be tabletop gaming, then I can consider that RPG. But I don't know of very many people that actually treat MMORPGs that way. So I don't think I think it's null and void. I don't think it's a thing. All right, that's my opinion. So, that being said, the future of Against the Boredom. Now, I do want to say that I've got some really shitty colors. If you notice that weird mint lime greenish color and the pink. All right, and there's not a huge story behind that, other than when I was designing the title page and stuff like that. All of the tube art for it. The dice were pink, and then one of the backgrounds was like a green, and I'm like, those will be the channel colors for right now. So that's why I chose those. Number one, pink and green. They really don't seem like they go together. It's kind of an odd combination, kind of ugly, but you're gonna remember it. I'll guarantee you. So that's the reason for that. No particular reason other than it's what I chose at the time, and I'm going to stick with it because I like consistency. So at some point, if the channel happens to get popular at some point, and people are like, hey man, those colors, they suck ball sack, might want to get rid of those, I might do that. Until then, though, I'm going to leave it the way it is, because like I said, you're going to remember it as ugly as they are. Or even if you think they're pretty, hey, stuff happens. Weirder things have happened, folks. Alright, so that's what's going on with the channel art and the intros and outros and stuff for my videos. Now, a couple other things. One, we are going to do some tabletop stuff, all right? But the logistical problem with doing the tabletop stuff is going to be the cameras. The way I would want to do it when I do these is going to be, you need a camera to face one side of the table. You need a camera to face the other side of the table, and these have to be good enough, at least 720p cameras. Otherwise, it's not worth watching, right? At least 720p. I'd love to do 1080, but man, that's going to be expensive for several cameras. And then I want a camera that's suspended from up top, looking down at the board. And I also have to do all those in my home because I don't have a studio. And I have to do it in such a way where you can put each of the videos in the same video, different frames. Put them all in there, and you can see all of them possibly at the same time and go back and forth. And that's some video editing shit that I'm just not familiar with yet. So there's several logistical problems with doing it. Now, that's not to say that I'm not going to give it a shot here one day. I have seen some videos on YouTube. I'm constantly watching YouTube, trying to figure out what the successful channels are doing. Emulation and imitation are the best forms of flattery, in my opinion. And I don't intentionally straight up just rip somebody off, all right? I really don't. I am my own person, and this is who I am. That what you're getting right now, this is me. This is who I am. This is how I act. None of this is an act, okay? So there's that. As far as the stuff on the channel, I try to come up with the original stuff. I don't strive to be different, you know? If something's really cool and I like it, I might take an element of it, you know? That's just a thing. That's a thing that happens. It happens in music. It happens in cinematography and videography. Like I said, emulation and imitation, best forms of flattery. So if you see something, you go, hey, that motherfucker ripped that off from my channel. If it's really that bad, if I straight up just totally stole your shit, let me know. I don't intentionally do that. That's not me. That's not who I am. I don't want to do that. But if I do, just say, hey, man, that was kind of a little bit too close for comfort, and we'll discuss it. Like I said, I don't intentionally rip people off, so I try not to do that. I don't think I have so far. Everything's pretty original. Okay, so that's the tabletop stuff. As it pertains to the other games, there's some games that I want to get into, and I can, since I don't have the, since you're watching Force of Nature right now, I can go into the desktop here and see. So here's what I've got, because I only bought a few of these. I want to say this is not all of these. So here's what I've got. I've got the Three Eyes of the Beholder, right? The Eye of the Beholder, and then The Legend of Dark Moon, and then Assault on Myth Draenor. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So I'll be playing those. One's going to take me long enough, guys. It so is. And then I've got the Krynn series, which is Champions of Krynn, Death Knights of Krynn, The Dark Queen of Krynn. Okay? So I've got those. And that's just some old. They're all in the same line. I'm pretty sure they're all by the same manufacturer. I think it was an impulse buy, to be perfectly honest, guys. I got in there and I'm like, hey, this is some cool shit. I think I'll mess with this, and that's what I did. I didn't get everything. There's some stuff in there I didn't get. I didn't get the Ravenloft that's up there, so I didn't do that. Sorry, drinking some sweet tea. So I didn't do that. And I also didn't get, let's see, Ravenloft. There's another one. There's like another couple. Maybe some Underdark type shit. Which I think the Eyes of the Beholder cover, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so that's what I've got as far as that goes. The older games, which is cool, and that's enough. I've got Hammerwatch, which somebody turned me on to, and I don't even know where in the hell I got it. It's a free game kind of thing. I don't think I've ever played it on this system. So that is what it is. I might play that. I don't think I'm going to be doing the Neverwinter stuff. Ravenfield's kind of neat. Gray Still Plays had a couple of things on Ravenfield, I think. I want to say that was him. Anyway. So there's some simple stuff that's not going to tax a system too much. Of course, I got the Subsistence. I do have Skyrim with all of its additions. My Summer Car. Now, that's one, if you haven't checked that out on YouTube, check it out. It's kind of neat. It's really funny, really amusing. Not meant to be taken seriously, but it is a simulator, and it's really freaking hard. I've tried it. I've got a save game going. I don't know that I want to start that one over, though, is the problem. I might just start in the middle where I've completed the car and everything. I might do one on that. If you want me to, let me know. I might do one. I've got some that are the kind of course, I got Counter-Strike, but I don't mess with those online anymore, guys. There are too many dickheads. Too many dickheads to deal with. So I don't mess with those much online. Pardonnez-moi. I think I've got some Steam stuff that I don't have on my desktop. Of course, I've got all three of the Diablos. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm working on saving up a little bit of cashola to get one of the external video capture devices. I want one that's standalone so that I can just plug it in, HDMI and out, HDMI, and just put it on an SD card and go with it. You know what I mean? And I can record the audio myself. I've got several different avenues of just recording audio. I could do that, and that'll be fine. Let's see, The Long Dark. That's a cool one, and that's really freaking hard. So I might do that one. It's a survival game, and it's brutal. It's been in development, I think, since 2014, I want to say. And I haven't messed with it in a while. I might want to go back to it and see if there are any updates to it. The guy's updated occasionally, but the story mode has not been added yet, and that's kind of what I was waiting on. I do need to play it a little bit more, though, because it is extremely hard, guys. It's a survival game, and you've got to scrounge for shit. It's really crazy. I do have several games that are kind of the crossover between board games and video games. They're video games that were based on board games. I've got 3 here. One is Small World. This is called Small World 2. If you've never played Small World, look it up. I don't really even know how to describe it, guys. It's not really even resource allocation. It's basically like an army building game. And Conquest, I think, is probably closer to where it is. But you're, instead of just sticking with one particular faction and using that faction throughout the whole game. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you're powerful enough if you get a good set. You got like a race and an attribute to that race. And the thing about that is that there are a different number of races and attributes. So, when you go through the game, you don't keep everything in the same order, and the races and attributes change as they refer to one another. And it makes more sense if you see the game. So that's a board game, Small World, and it's Small World 2 on Steam, which is kind of neat. And then you've got Ticket to Ride, which is a cool board game about railroad building. And then you've got Elder Sign Omens from Steam also. And Elder Sign is really cool. Elder Sign is one of those games that I when we have a chance to play board games, there are several different board games that I go to almost immediately. Now, I love me some Munchkin. Munchkin is great, and I got a lot of expansions for Munchkin. So Munchkin's really fun, especially if you have a fun group of folks that just want to, and that's why I say Munchkin when I say I'm munchkining something. That's basically, stabbing in the back or cheat. Not really cheating, but kind of cheating. It's an RPG term. As I'm looking behind me, I do have Firefly, the game, which is really cool. Smash Up is a really damn cool board game. Now, none of these pertain to any of the video games I've got. I've moved on to the board games. Sorry, guys. Smash Up is a really cool game. And we've got a lot of the expansions for that one, too. Mice and Mystics is a neat little RPG, and it truly is RPG, that you can play, and you do not have to have a GM for it. The game kind of GMs itself. It's got rules set in place for for how the monsters act, and different people can roll for the monsters to do their thing. So that's kind of neat. And then you got like Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert. Those are cool games. Lanterns is a cool, quick game. We've also got the Lords of Waterdeep, which is back to the D&D thing, and that's a really cool board game. That's one of the games that, like I said, with Elder Sign, that when I go to board games, that's one of the games I want to play a lot, is Lords of Waterdeep. If people are in the mood, Mice and Mystics. Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert, Elder Sign, Elder Sign, rather. Taikaido's another cool one. I'll play some Settlers of Catan, too, now, damn it. I'll play me some Settlers. Settlers is awesome. Can't beat it. Yeah, so, I mean, and that's not all the video games or board games, rather, that I've got. That's just a smattering of the few things that I've got. So, we have some board games to play, and we've got some stuff that won't take but about 20-30 minutes to show you. And we've got some stuff that'll take several different episodes, something that I'm going to have to video all in one shot, and then clip it down, and and show you guys. So look, this went on a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but I wanted to have a chat with you, and this is some of the things that's going on, and you got to see a little bit of what was going on with Force of Nature. So, hey, look, guys, I appreciate you indulging me on this, and if you want to, I've got, over almost an hour left of this video, the footage of Force of Nature, and I might go through and clip and do some more stuff with it after I watch and see what's going on with the audio, and I'll edit it accordingly, and we'll see what's up. So if you want to see more of this, let me know. It's just a commentary over the stuff, something you get to watch while you're listening to me ramble like an asshole. I appreciate you coming in, guys. Thanks for coming out. So, I'll see you cats in the comments, and let's play some games.